It is strongly believed that there are so many black celebrities that work as informants for the white community. Since they grew up around fellow dark-skinned people, they take information from them on what's happening in the black community and share it with the oppressor. So many celebrities have been pointed out as underdogs, and today we will be confirming if all that is true or not. The people that get tagged the most as underdogs are billionaire black celebrities. For you to become a billionaire in the industry as a person of color, you must have kissed so many asses and revealed so many secrets about your people. One of such billionaires accused of being an underdog is Jay-Z. The billionaire music mogul always seems to be at the forefront of controversies, and it appears that he's just the easy target. The major reason Jay-Z is being accused of being an underdog is because of how he steadily climbed the ladder to the top. According to Jaguar Wright, Jay-Z came into the limelight because Nas put him on. Then, out of nowhere, Nas fell off, and Jay-Z became one of the biggest rappers in the industry. But Jay didn't just stop at becoming the biggest artist. He also went on to become a billionaire, and people believed it was based on the stories of his people. So, what exactly is Jay-Z's role as an underdog? Contrary to how the underdog may have been painted, it is actually referring to a person that would throw their people under the bus if necessary, just to get validated by white people. It is believed that Jay-Z constantly denies his people for the sake of white validation. It's the reason they believe he's able to rub shoulders with white people and other non-black influential people. The same goes for his wife, Beyonce. While she's well loved by people of color and the white community, people believe she constantly panders to the white community with her songs and almost every other thing she does. In 2024, she released a country album called Cowboy Carter, which raised conversations about why she was trying to create white people music. The songs off the album had a completely different vibe from the Beyonce that everybody is used to, but her loyal fans adjusted and made points for her. The talks about Beyonce denying the black community became worse as her skin started appearing a bit lighter than usual. Beyonce has had more of a light brown skin that almost looks like what a tan color would look like. But in recent times, people allege that she was bleaching her skin because there's no way she could become that light overnight. Amidst the rumors of bleaching her skin, the diva released a hair care line called Creek Red, and the black community turned upside down. The products were not 4C hair friendly, and the black community thought she was trying to pander to a white audience with her new hair care line as a black woman. They expected better from her and expressed their displeasure online. But are any of these things true about Beyonce and Jay-Z trying to pander to white people? Jay-Z has done so many shady things in the industry, like being close friends with some of the industry's well-known but the allegations that he only became rich as a result of pandering to white people seems far-fetched and rather unfair to his craft. At the time Jay-Z started rapping, most people in the white community already viewed hip-hop as ghetto and not up to their standard. But he kept rapping and did not try to change his music style because some people wanted him to. Also, there was a debate about who was the better rapper between him and Nas. Then Nas fell off due to drug use, and Jay-Z became the next big thing. His wealth amassed over time throughout his acquisition of a liquor company, a music streaming service, and a clothing line. He also has a management agency where he builds talents. So white people pandering where? And same goes for Beyonce. The Queen Bee has built a successful music career over the years, alongside a talent management agency. She also has a clothing and hair care line. If none of these ventures were profitable, how exactly would she still be relevant till this day? Then about Creek Red pandering to white people's hair. That's an insensitive thing to say. Within the black community, there are so many different hair textures that are not 4C. If Beyonce makes hair products that can cater to her kind of hair, then there's no reason for people to complain. If a product doesn't work for you, it doesn't mean it's anti-black. It just means it doesn't work for you, and that is fine. Not every product is supposed to work for you, and because it was created by a person of color, doesn't mean it has to be curated to your taste. If the argument about the products came from the standpoint of Beyonce's products not being the reason she had healthy hair, that's something we can get behind. Beyonce's hair is always out of the way and hidden under a wig whenever she's busy at concert. Keeping your hands out of your hair is a great way to help it grow and retain length. Not using a bazillion products, But that's an aside. Getting to the topic of her singing country music, we have to remind ourselves that Beyonce grew up in Texas. So she has spent a significant amount of time around cowboys and country music. If she decides to create music that reminds her of her childhood, who is anybody to say she's wrong? Artists are allowed to experiment with different styles of music, even if you don't feel comfortable about it. Finally, Beyonce loves to wear blonde wigs, which can cast a certain bright shadow on the face. We also need to understand that there are different shades of black people. Some are light-skinned, some are dark chocolate, some are caramel. Beyonce seems to be on the light-skinned side, and that should make anyone doubt her blackness. People doubt her skin color almost every year, but it remains the same when you look closely. It's like people want to have something to be mad about, so they come up with different narratives. Beyonce has earned everything she has right now, and it definitely didn't come from being an underdog for white people. Another celebrity that has been accused of being an underdog for the white community is Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan is mostly loved by the black community, but when they got a chance to make him question that love, they didn't try to pretend. In 2023, Michael B. Jordan bumped into his former high school classmate who is now a news reporter at a red carpet event. He snubbed her and asked her if she remembered calling him corny when they were in high school. It was so embarrassing for the reporter, and if we're being honest, it was embarrassing for the actor too. The reporter admitted to making fun of his name, Michael Jordan, but blamed it on being a child. For Michael Jordan, he kept those things in his heart and was going to use it against the reporter. He claimed that people bullied him because he wasn't hood enough for them. Due to those claims, people then started assuming that he dated mostly white women because he felt black women weren't up to his standard. For those reasons, they were sure he was an underdog for the white community. However, one thing we have never understood is how people say love is love, but when it gets to an interracial couple, we always want to assume it's not love. For Michael Jordan, he has dated women of different races, but why do we choose to focus on the white ones he dated? Are they also undeserving of love? Michael B. Jordan is no saint, but calling out high school bullies and dating women of all races doesn't mean you are pandering to white people. Back to the topic of underdogs in the black community. Have you heard of the black man in a dress theory? Not all underdogs in the black community are informants for white people. Some are men who have to wear a dress before they become relevant in the industry. Dave Chappelle, Cat Williams, and Terrence Howard have all discussed the theory and accused some celebrities of wearing a dress before they got respected in the industry. According to theory, a black man can only become popular in the industry if he agrees to wear a dress in public, thereby embarrassing himself. Terrence Howard claims that it is one of the ways they are trying to make black men effeminate in the industry, and that ideology is disappointing to say the least, but we will get back to it. One of the celebrities accused of wearing a dress is Puff Daddy. People think it's more embarrassing for him considering his dangerous persona. Tyler Perry and Kevin Hart are other male celebrities that have been accused of wearing a dress to make it in the industry. Again, all of these accusations are insulting to the hard work these men have put into their craft. Puff Daddy is not somebody we defend on this channel, but if we need to acknowledge the effort people put into their craft, we do so. Accusing the mogul of making it in the industry because he wore a dress is undermining the hard work he went through to build Bad Boy Records. He definitely did questionable things to get Bad Boy Records to where it is now, but it didn't involve wearing a dress. We can't say the same about Tyler Perry though. Tyler Perry did wear a dress to promote his Madea character, which should be the problem and not the floral dresses he wore in those movies. The Madea character should be the real beef the black community has with Tyler Perry. Madea is the embodiment of every single stereotype that exists about black women. Loud and aggressive. It's like Tyler Perry asked his white friends to describe the personality of a black woman, and he turned it into a character. The Madea character is supposed to be some sort of comfort character, but she only ends up being in every part she appears. But we can't undermine the fact that even bringing such a character to life requires effort, and that is something Tyler Perry has always worked tirelessly on in his movie. If anything makes Tyler Perry an underdog, it's how he paints stories of black people and not how he dresses. Kevin Hart, on the other hand, has worn a dress in a comedy skit, but he made that skit when he was already relevant in the industry. Kevin Hart got into comedy as a way to cope with his troubled family and his father's cocaine addiction. He was able to make a name for himself out of it, but now people want to assume his popularity is because he wore a dress once. But there is something this accusation of male celebrities becoming popular because they wore a dress says. The assumption that people can only become popular when they dress like women is insulting to women. It means people are saying that women become popular solely because of how they're dressed and not their talent. This ideology has existed for a very long time, with people sexualizing Marilyn Monroe and looking past the fact that she was talented. What is even more annoying is the fact that people like Terrence Howard assume that a man wearing a dress means that he is suddenly effeminate. Assuming that was the case, which isn't, what exactly is wrong with men choosing to be effeminate? If a person decides that they feel comfortable presenting themselves a certain way, why should it be anybody's problem or even an issue? Same Terrence Howard that claims to care about masculinity only seems to be interested in it from the toxic side. His first wife left him for domestic violence. Same with his second wife, who also asked for a restraining order against him. The same man who doesn't know anything about protecting women wants to call the shots on what is okay for a man to do. That's weird. Dave Chappelle, on the other hand, doesn't seem to understand that the world has moved past sexist and questionable humor. If your comedy is not addressing social issues, or in the very least, not making people feel bad for existing, then wrap it up and let it go. But Chappelle doesn't want to let it go, making him talk down on more popular comedians and claiming their popularity is solely because they wore a dress. The same goes for Cat Williams, who seems to be sharing more conspiracy theories than jokes. When people think of Cat Williams these days, they don't see the comedian with the funny bob. Instead, they think of a conspiracy theorist who just happens to know everything that is happening in the industry without trying too hard. Are we saying that some of the things Cat Williams says are not true? No. He was one of the people that talked about P. Diddy's sex parties before Lil Rod confirmed it in a way. But if he put that energy into his comedy, maybe he would not be where he is now. To be honest, the topic of male celebrities wearing a dress to advance their careers reeks of misogyny. It assumes that women are inadequate, but once they throw on a pretty dress, people would acknowledge them. If fame was about wearing a dress, no female celebrity would ever need to be talented or even work. They just have to wear a dress, look pretty, and go home with billions of dollars pouring into their account. The black man in a dress theory is insulting to women like Whoopi Goldberg and Angela Bassett that have so much dexterity in their craft. Women that have stood their ground in the industry but still haven't gotten what they deserve. Women like Taraji P. Henson, who always wears pretty dresses, but never gets paid the amount she requests to appear in movies. If wearing a dress makes a man less masculine, then what is the measurement of masculinity? Is it how many pants you are able to wear? Or how many women you are able to oppress? What's the big idea behind it all? Men have long been winning in the industry without wearing a dress. So talking down on the efforts of some men who decided to rock a dress is demeaning and disgraceful for you. But let's go back to the issue of underdogs in the black community. Why are we under the assumption that black celebrities that make it big didn't do it on their own? Why are we under the assumption that black celebrities in predominantly white spaces are snitching on their people to remain there? With their ideologies like these, it's not so surprising to see why some black celebrities make it out the hood and never look back. It's like black celebrities need to maintain a certain level of humility if they want to be respected by their own people. And it's sickening. Imagine facing racism at work and coming back to seeing your people call you an underdog because you're building a career for yourself. Now, we are not saying that there is no black celebrities currently denying their skin color just to be accepted at the table of white people. But as opposed to giving information about the black community to people, they are using them to spread misinformation and hate in the black community. But instead of focusing on those people that always start things and move back when they need to lend their voice to the cause, the black community is trying to find imaginary underdogs. People like Beyonce and Jay-Z have worked hard to get what they have now. They have spent hours rehearsing and recording albums that have changed their lives and that of their families. They have spent years working on their craft and teaching their children how to follow their dreams. People like Kevin Hart have mastered the art of comedy and don't approach it from a shallow point. He puts his best foot forward in a bid to show people how it's really done. But because he works with non-black people on so many projects, fans can't handle and want to desperately talk down on his career. So, who then are the real underdogs? Wouldn't it be the people that talk down on beloved celebrities, thereby pushing the notion that black people hate each other? Wouldn't it be the fans who don't believe that black celebrities can use their talent to climb up the industry ladder? Wouldn't it be the fans who spin narratives to fit the ideas they have of black celebrities? Another question worthy of asking is, what exactly is the black community hiding that the celebrities know about they're going to reveal to the white people? Also, why do we place white folks on a pedestal and act like seeing a black person around them is something newsworthy? The talk about black celebrities being underdogs for white people seems to come from a place of self-hatred. Assuming white folks are better than you, therefore you must kiss ass before sitting at their table. It's time to acquire some self-respect and start respecting people for their craft and appreciating them for forging a path that younger black celebrities can follow.